doing, guys? Let's get myself comfy. This is my review for the 5th in the Resident Evil franchise, Resident Evil Retribution. Well, as for me personally, I love the other movies. I wasn't so keen on Resident Evil Apocalypse, the second one, but the other three were good fun movies. I knew exactly what you were getting from them. I knew they were going to be brainless. I knew they weren't going to be the best movies going, but they were going to be great action. They're going to have sexy girls in it, a lot of martial arts, a lot of zombies and a lot of monsters. Tick, tick, tick. That's fine. And that is exactly what you're going to get from this movie too. It continues on from the end of the 4th movie, and this is directed by Paul Anderson, who directed the first movie. You'll know him from movies such as Aliens vs Predator, the first one, The Gem, Event Horizon, and many others. Now, he does a hit and miss movies. I'm not so sure what I will say about this one. Now, this one continues right from the end of the 4th movie. So if you saw Jill Valentine's character and the big army, they were coming down to attack the boat where Alice was with Redfield, Claire Redfield and her brother. It continues on exactly from there, and from there on Alice once again has been captured. Yes, she's been captured, and she wakes up in a cell and she doesn't know what's going on, and she's naked again. That's right, all she's got is a little square rectangular cloth covering up her parts on her back and her front, so it doesn't leave a lot to the imagination for all you guys out there. Although saying that, if you want to watch a film where Mila Jovovich is naked, there are plenty of them anyway, including some of the Resident Evil films. So basically she is now in a different position. She has now been put in a virtual reality hive where it's quite funny. It's now got virtual reality domes inside Tokyo, and you've got Moscow, and you've got New York, and basically they look realistic, they look real, but they're all virtual reality, they're fake, and they're training in hives. Also, this is where a lot of the clones have been made. So if you'll notice, there's a lot of returning stars from the Resident Evil franchises. Colin Salmon, the black chap who gets cut up by the lasers in the first movie, returns. You'll know the other great chap from the 3rd and the 4th movie. I can't remember his name, I'm really sorry, but he is in the Mummy film. He is back, and also Michelle Rodriguez is back playing 2 characters. Now, I don't have to spoil anything by saying it's quite obvious how they're back. They've been cloned. If you've seen the other movies, you know they've been cloned, that's why they're back. So they're the returning characters, which is nice. We also auditioned to some new characters, and some characters from the 4th movie too. I don't want to go too much into it. But basically, Alice has got to get out of this hive as quickly as possible and rendezvous with the 5 other chaps who are coming to meet her and collect her and get the hell out of there as quickly as possible for the resistance. Now, she's been hunted down by Jill Valentine, who has got that big spider on her chest, which is controlling her via the Red Queen. Red Queen you want to remember from the first movie. And then on is a cat and mouse game where they've got to get out and they've got to get through the different worlds in time before they get caught by Jill Valentine's character, and a lot of returning movies. You'll see the Licker from the first film is in this. The Executioner is back from the 4th movie as well. I would have liked some new monsters, let's just put it this way. It's the same monsters from the other movies. I would love to have seen a few new ones, but there you go. Plenty of zombies, you can't ask for more. Now, one thing about this is it's got a lot of action. There is a hell of a lot of action. There's a lot of kicking, there's a lot of killing, there's a lot of blood, and you're guaranteed that with all Resident movies. The one thing that Paul Anderson is obsessed with, and maybe a little bit too much, is slow-mo action. There is so much slow-mo action in this, it's unbelievable. Pretty much 50% of the action is done in slow-mo, and sometimes you just want to see it run at normal pace, and you get bullets slow flying by your face in slow-mo and so forth, which is great for 3D, but I just like it a bit more up to speed. Good and bad points. Well, I have to say it's not the best movie I've seen out of the Resident Evil franchise. Only the second one is worse off out of them, in my opinion. It needed a lot more sort of plot points. The fact that they can wander in all the different worlds and they're quite free, and it's more like a computer. I know this is a computer game film, but it just seems like one computer game level followed by another one, followed by another one, and another one. And it's just jumped from 1 to 2 to 3, and it's like that with the Red Queen just appearing, saying, right, they're in this level, kill them. And there's not much else to it, unfortunately, and that's a real downer. On the good point side, Alice is as brilliant as ever as she was in the other movies. She's as tough as nails. She's got her little corny lines. Even though she hasn't got the special power she had in the 3rd movie, because they were taken away at the start of the 4th one, she's still rock solid. She's got some good company with her. The Chinese girl that's in this, sexy as ever with the dress with a big slit down the side and the gun holster, is a great counterpart character for her that leads her during the movie and makes much more viewing. There's also a girl that she picks up, which is a clone in this movie, which she undertakes as her daughter, and she's a lovely little sweet character in the movie, even though at times she does get in the way and sort of prevent Alice from worrying about killing people. She's got to keep looking back, but they do sort that out during the movie. So overall, yeah, I come out of the cinema thinking this is alright. It is exactly what I expected. It's not the best film ever, but hey, it's a Resident Evil film. Does it go in tone with the rest of the movies that were made? Yes, it does. It's exactly the same. You see more expanse of the Umbrella Corporation, how big it is. You actually get to see a bit of the resistance now, rather than just Alice seems to be all on her own like she was in the 4th movie, with a few people she picks up along the way. You do get people more involved in this, and it becomes a bigger, wider scope. Is it open for a 6th movie? If they choose to make a 6th one and this one makes a lot of money, somehow I'm sure it will. Of course there will be a 6th movie. It is left wide open for a 6th movie. One question I do have for anyone who's watched this movie is Wesker. Now, he was the villain in the 4th movie, and he is back in this movie, but it doesn't explain why he's back. He's just there, and it's like, I'm sure you got killed, you got blown up on the helicopter to pieces. How come you're back? You know, and you could say, well, it's a clone of him again, but if you see his character in this movie, he doesn't act like he's a clone. So I'm a bit puzzled by Wesker's character. So someone, please let me know and tell me what's going on, because it's like, hey. But there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. That's my short review of the Resident Evil Retribution film. Which is in cinemas out in America at the moment, and it's coming out in the UK very, very shortly. Good 3D, so definitely opt for the 3D. As I said, Resident Evil Afterlife is one of the best 3D movies I've ever seen. So stay funky, stay cool, and I'll see all you guys in a few. Alright then, hear from you soon. Cheers.